Hi everyone, I hope you all. This is CoinsKid. Just going to dive into Bitcoin once again. Thank you for support. Okay, big up the CoinsKid group. So right now, I do think that Bitcoin is holding support for continuation. I've said this to you. Okay, I think you've broken out. You're falling back to the EMAs, which is a nice statement from Bitcoin. You're closing above the weekly EMAs as well, which is really important for your uptrend. And obviously, you're closing above a daily, and you're consolidating in a range right now. You're coiling up for some kind of break. Okay. Now a lot of people are anticipating a massive breakdown here. Obviously, it can happen, but I think that what you're doing here for Bitcoin basically is really simple. Okay, you've come up, you've made a high, you've made a low, you've made a higher high, and right now you're building a foundation here and you've made a higher low. And what you're looking to do for Bitcoin is retrace to this high. Okay, just like you did last summer. Okay, we retraced to this high, and it was at this point, this retracement, please refer back to the videos. I said to you in September last year, Bitcoin does usually correct, okay, and it did. It put in an ABC correction, but this correction was the most important thing of this downtrend. Okay, forget the downtrend. The most important thing is the retracement, because at this point, when we put in this ABC and we came down, we put in a beautiful ABC in the month of September last year. We held support, we held this low, we never came back down to it. Okay, so you wasn't creating that bear market structure. Everyone was saying that this was a bear market, just like everyone's saying that this is a bear market. We wasn't creating that structure for the bear market. It was corrective, and at that point, we actually broke out and put another 1618 target. Okay, so I think that we're pretty much mirroring what we did last year. You know, we are mirroring it. We've basically gone sideways in 2021, and right now I do think that potentially what we're doing, we're creating this foundation here. Hopefully, this is all hope. Obviously, there's no guarantees, but right now we're mirroring it, and what we've done, we've stepped up the levels. So there's one level, there's your 2021 foundation, and right now is your 2022 foundation. Okay, I'm not saying you're not going to come back and retest it. I think it's highly doubtful, though, to be honest with you, because I think that Bitcoin's technically bullish, right? And I know everyone's expecting a correction here and a collapse of Bitcoin, but I think what you've done, you've bolted out, you're holding support, and you're looking for continuation here. Okay, now like I've said to you, this retracement here to this high is the most important thing, as it was last year. This retracement, okay, we held the ABC and then we put in a new all-time high. So right now, this retracement, I do have a target for you, which I'm going to give you, because I do think you're mirroring this. I'm going to go through this with you. Okay, you're mirroring last year basically, and I've said this to you the whole way down. Okay, you're mirroring correction and potentially some kind of running flat ABC correction like this. Okay, holding support, looking to come back up. So you know what I'm looking at right now is an impulsive break off this high. Okay, you've ran up, obviously you broke this high, so you've got the technical target of an ascending triangle and W bottom pattern as well, which is a bullish reversal pattern, very strong bullish reversal pattern. I know a lot of people are looking at this sort of rising channel and potential rising wedge, but to invalidate that, all we have to do is break that resistance and start to hold and back test, and you're out of there, aren't you? You know, and you've not got your big monster head and shoulders pattern that's breaking down, which is a bit of a crappy pattern, to be honest with you. I don't like that. I don't think it's a valid head and shoulders pattern. A lot of people do. You know, I've shown you because a lot of people are drawing it, so I want to make you aware of everything that people are looking at. But me, I'd find it a bit irregular, to be honest with you. I mean, this is a beautiful head and shoulders pattern. You got your left shoulder, you got your big head, you got your right shoulder, all unison, and then we came down and met the technical target last summer. Okay, which everyone was in disbelief when I was giving it to you. So right now, I do think that Bitcoin is your 2021 foundation. Okay, here's your 2022 foundation. Okay, and like I said to you, everyone gets really bearish at support, don't they? Key support. Right now, you're building this beautiful foundation, this beautiful W bottom. You're equally doing things that you've never done in a bear market, and that is consistently closing above the weekly 20 EMA. Now, if we can consistently close above that, like I said to you, that's a bull market, my friend. That's an uptrend, okay, on the weekly time frame, one of the most important time frames. For me, it's the second most important time frame, okay? So, you know, just here, I think that what you might potentially be doing here for Bitcoin is mirroring this. So one thing to sort of validate that is the RSI. So if we take a look at the RSI in the weekly time frame, on the daily time frame, I do apologize, you can see that, like I said to you, whenever there's stocks in the floor, always expect a beautiful impulsive breakout. Okay, so looking at the setup last year in 2021, when we actually bottomed out down here in the stock, okay, and the RSI, you can see that we started to put in this divergence here, this bullish divergence. Okay, you can see that bullish divergence because you're making a series of lower lows and you're making high lows in the RSI just there. Okay, so that was a bit of a divergence, and then you actually broke out, but you got really overbought just there. Okay, you see that little retracement just there. Okay, and then you put in that correction down to the EMAs. You got quite overbought in the overbought trajectory, and what happened was you came back to the EMAs and you actually started to break out. But with that breakout, you started to put in a bearish divergence, and then you had your ABC down to being oversold again. But if you take a look at the stock as well, you was coming down and you was creating a bearish divergence in the stock, and it's at that point when you bottomed out on the stock, which was the low of the ABC, and you start to come back up and create a new all-time high. So there is a very similar situation that's going on here for Bitcoin at the moment. You know, you've almost got overbought on this sort of breakout, and right now you're coming back, and there is a potential right now you do start to come up here and put a bearish divergence in again. Okay, and you mirror this sort of breakout here where you start to come up and then you put in an ABC just here. Now it's all about this ABC correction down that we're going to have, because this is what happens, you break impulsively and you have a large correction, okay, for the continuation of a trend. You come back and you hold the lows, basically retracing. And it's at that point, you know, if we get a very similar setup on the RSI and the stock RSI as what we did here, it's going to be really, really interesting what Bitcoin does next. Do you understand that? So we'll keep an eye on this going forward. But for me, I do think that Bitcoin's coiling up. I do think that you're looking for a breakout here, and potentially if you do start to break out, you know, there is a chance that you could actually start to create this bearish divergence and mirror what you did last year. So we'll keep an eye on this, because last year you did actually meet 21618 targets. Okay, so for those of you who are new to the channel, I'll show you what I mean. So this is how we met the 21618 targets. I'll show you exactly and what I'm looking at. I'm going to give you a target right now as well. So you can see here we came down, we put in this high just there, and then we came down to this low. So right now what we were doing was retracing to this high, okay, and you can see that once we broke this high with this impulsive break, we came back to supporting the EMAs, and then we came up and we met the 1618 target. It was met like a boss, okay. It was on all my thumbnails. Next target is that, and people was in disbelief. You know, I was getting trolls on them comments and them videos as well, like, you don't know what you're talking about, Bitcoin's going to 20k and things like that. You know, Bitcoin's in a bear market. Just the same comments that I'm getting right now as well. And it's at that point we met the 1618, and I said to you, look, take some profit off the table, because Bitcoin's going to come in for an ABC. It's going to come in for a correction, which it always does in September. And it's at that point, if the correction holds, you're going to put in another 1618 target. And you can see this target here from this 1618 was met. It got a little bit overextended, you know, and it's at this point I said to you, look, it's getting overextended. It needs to come back, because you're getting overextended. You need to come back for the continuation of this trend, okay? So it was looking to come back and hold support, but we lost support and we've come down. And right now we've broken this key resistance that we lost, and we're right now trading above it, okay? So this is actually bullish. And what I'm looking at right now is another impulsive wave target. So exactly how we met that 1618 target last year, I'm going to use the fibs and show you what I'm looking at right now, okay? So basically, just like you came up there and you came down, you came up there, came down, you came up, and then you retested the lows, you made a higher low. So potentially this here is what's happened here, okay? And right now you're breaking out back above the EMAs, and right here you're breaking out back above the EMAs and falling back into them. So there's a very similar situation going on there as there was last year, okay? It's corrective, and it's built a foundation basically, and people are in disbelief and are expecting a continuation. Now I'm not saying 100% you're not, you know, you can't fall through that, and you know this is a fake out and things like that, but you have to adhere to price structure, and the price structure at the moment is bullish because Bitcoin is above the EMAs. I said that to you, okay? In the entire history of this channel, I've said to you, if you're above the EMAs on your time frame, you're an uptrend on that time frame. If you're holding them as support, you're an uptrend, my friend, okay? So right now on the daily time frame, the weekly and the monthly, the most important time frames, you are actually in an uptrend, okay? Don't ignore that. So right now, what I'm looking at for Bitcoin is a potential breakout at a 1618 target, just like that target I've shown you was met on the dollar. This is what you're looking at for Bitcoin, and I do think that this is where you will potentially put in the ABC correction, and it's this correction at that point at 54793 that Bitcoin needs to hold, okay, that correction that comes in, because if it doesn't, then you're not mirroring this breakout last year, okay, and this ABC correction was a beautiful ABC correction before another impulsive break, which would met the 1618 I've shown you. At this point, if you start to come back and you retest, potentially come up here, and you start to put an ABC and you start to fall through support and come back and retest these lows, that's your bear market structure. That's negative market structure. You see that Bitcoin is in a bear market, okay? This was your top, and this is a fake out, you know, a dead cat bounce, and you come down there, you come up, and you fizzle out like that, and then you got your bear market structure. But I'm not seeing any bear market structure yet. All I'm seeing is corrective. You've held that low and a higher low. That's bullish, okay? Don't ignore price action. So that's basically Bitcoin. That for me is my next technical target, okay? I do think that your next impulsive break is that at minimal 54793, and it could come quite quickly. So that's basically Bitcoin. Hope you enjoyed the update. Take care, everyone. Thank you for your support. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned. Bye bye.